Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can't hear you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Oh, not me. My name's Nick. I'm a poet, and I'm from Broadstairs. I'm here on an exchange program. They got a bag of chips. You got me. So I came here a month or two ago, and I was invited back. So I thought I'd give you all new poems. Now, poetry for me either can show you something you didn't know, or it can remind you of something you've forgotten, or if you throw in a couple of gags, quite often help you forget what you do know. So I'm going to give you something from each of those this evening, and I hope you find something that you enjoy. The first one is about that modern day phenomenon of people who go and see bands that were big about 30 years ago when they were in their prime. But of course, they're not the same as they once were, and it begs all sorts of questions, really. So this is called Yesterday's Heroes. I suggest that you don't meet your heroes. Keep them safe in your head, let them rest. In the flesh they're much shorter or ruder, and they look well a bit past their best. Please think twice now it's 30 years later, 'cause you missed them when they were profound. You're just paying a debt to your memory while at least one of them's still around. If you do, come prepared for a letdown and the feeling you should have stayed home, as you catch yourself looking at others watching you, knowing they're not alone. For the past is already gone AWOL. It won't ever come this way again. The risk to nostalgia is brutal, and once squandered is never the same. Then again, you might just feel connected with a piece of your youth feared lost. Wear the extra-sized t-shirt and prove it, and overlook the obscene ticket cost. As for Martin and Mark, Greg and Elvis, you're the proof of my theory, lived proud. I saw fear in your eyes, or disinterest. I was not just a face in the crowd. They're not gods, superhumans or icons, just your favourites from summers long past. Carpe diem, my friends, and remember, we're still young and we're having a blast. Right, now, poetry, social observation, really it's not, it's just parasiting other people's hardships. So this was, did I say that out loud? Sorry. I saw these people getting on off a bus. They were from the north. You could tell. You could just tell. And I imagine I don't really meet them. I mean, they're just, just archetypes. This is called Going Down, a nicely misleading title. And it really should be read in a West Midlands accent. But I've done that twice now, and Brummies have spoken to me afterwards. So, arriving by coach from the Midlands, they're excited, no, nervous, well, anxious, and the glue that locks up their hands is the hope she's a little less thankless. They will tell her of their lovely journey, except for that man who was sick, and ask if they had real chips there. Do they cut them right proper and thick? Leatherette case bought mail order. Cooper's catalogue fell from the mail. Used twice a year if they're lucky, and the stitching's beginning to fail. This time it's to their oldest daughter. Not inclined, though, to see them at all. She's something high up in that crypto. Explains why she's too busy to call. They've no choice but to come to the city. It's not friendly or happy or green, but there's somebody famous from TV in a show that they'll boast that they've seen. On the journey back home to the quiet, the pain's in her voice. Hush, dear, don't. There's our son. He's another high flyer. I'm sure he'd like a visit. He won't. Right, X marks the spot. I wish that you added more X's at the end of your notes, billet doux. Their emission drains blood from my face, dear. Am I asking too much, this of you? I wish that you did not have X's. Former lovers who coddle your heart, please forget and deny their existence, that they knew you, it tears me apart. I wish that you didn't know excess. Far too much of all things is not good. Show restraint and be modest in practice. Be content with enough, as I should. I so wish that it wasn't Dos Equis that you turn to when life gets too hard. Fog your mind and there will be a crash, dear. Please stay sober and be on your guard. Oh, I wish that you didn't cry Salve Rex when you do not believe in his God. Though it's new and it's novel to try it, Rex is also the name of my dog. Now, top tips for aspiring poets. Competitions. Some poets live to enter them, some don't. My brother, who never speaks to me, sent me a message, says, you should enter this one. It's about Colchester Zoo. Go figure. Anyway, this one comes with a trigger warning. The trigger warning is animal sex. Well, it's a true story. Well, it's called Accidentally Mated. And what you need to know is, officially, 1973, 1974, there was an accidental mating at Colchester Zoo. Okay? If anybody needs to go and sit in a quiet space now, that's fine. Come to Colchester Zoo, you won't believe what you'll see. Never before, well, perhaps one or two. Here's a clue, it begins with a Z. I think you mean Z. It's a zebra that's bred with a donkey, no way. Is it the front or the back that's a zebra? The top or the bottom, the donkey? Or is it all mixed up in between and the Z-donk's a donkey that's wonky? Roll up to the plains, your life won't be the same. Your eyes go badonk, it's a real life Z-donk. True story. I didn't win. Love poems. Really, it all comes down to love. I mean, the funny ones are about hiding from love and, I don't really take it seriously. But there's a couple of real ones. This is called After All the Rehearsals, and it's a love poem written for somebody. I look at you and all the things you do, I think of you in my time. The difference in how and when I try is what I see in your eyes. If I should fail to please or need, you shall not die, nor will I. We do not heal weeping wounds, we grow strong hearts dark red. Let's wish upon cliches, stars and moon, and find ourselves in bed. Proper sonnet. Shakespearean sonnet, as studied at school, 3 quatrains and a heroic couplet. Sounds rude, but it's not. So this is this is love again. I do love you. I do not have more words. We are as one when in a quiet moment that reaches in to where I'm less absurd. I do not know how to be more potent. In touch return to when we first it knew, there was no one who meant more in the world than me to them, now I to you, all true. Wrapped in arms we stood, stand curled tight secure. Same as the child, naive, I'm innocent. They loved your bones and flesh and hair and breath. Now float and spin, we are not limerent. This state is ours until its day of death. You are in my heart, I am in pulse deep. Forever swear our bond until dark sleep. Okay, as it's you guys, you get 2 world exclusives. This one is about the weather. As you can tell, it's a little bit, my nose is running. I know I'm alive because I can see my breath. This is called My Secret Lover. There's a frost and I'm doing the math that tells me staying to go out would be quite insane as my breath jet trails out of my body and drips down the chill window pane. That moment of realization that it's colder outside than it's in, that the temperature's in single figures and that the heat only comes from within. Dear bed socks, how I dream of your caress, and pajamas I'll double you up. Fashion indignities I will suffer to stave off threatening heat loss. I'll say strapped in my lover the duvet, in sceptre like fingerless mittens. My best friends now are being from Powland and I'm thinking of taking up knitting. Okay, right. Okay, now the quickie about the modern obsession with fame. It's called 5 minutes. It's obvious to him and me, it's famous that you want to be no great shakes artistically, just pointed at by strangers. Of talent, merit, worthy life, your virtue is not born of strife, just piggybacked your current wife, a stolen dog in manger. And in the end, you'll get your day, and passers-by will point and, hey, he used to be someone, they'll say, but remembered, there's no danger. Right, well, now, so last time I was here, so I've got a signature poem, which is called the St Pancras Prayer, and basically it's all about the train route between here and St Pancras. I know, it's exciting as it sounds, but you know the words anyway, just not the order. But I'm trying not to do it anymore. But I thought, ooh, it went down really well last time, so I've got something different for you. There's a man called Bobby Troup. Anybody heard Bobby Troup? No. Wrote a very famous song, which you're going to hear. Well, not really. Anybody heard of Billy Bragg?
Yeah.
Now, Billy Bragg took that song and adapted it to make it more authentic. Now, one of the problems with American music in the 50s and 60s, it was understandably all about America. And we couldn't really relate to it. But every kid could tell you all about what it was like to be in California or New York or whatever, but not a lot really about here. So I filled that gap. And what was once, brackets, get your kicks on, brackets, Route 66, is now called the A299, the Thanet Way. Now, arguably, this should be sung, with a band as well. I'm not doing that. And some lyrics are great poems. Most poems aren't great lyrics. So this is possibly just not great. But anyway, if I drift off into what sounds a bit like singing, you're hallucinating. Well, if you ever plan to head southeast, take the A road, the mostly grey road that's not policed. I'm feeling fine on the A299. Well, it crawls from Brenley Corner to Ramsgate. A run of, let's see, 22 miles, give or take. I'm out of my mind on the A299. From quite near to Faversham, it heads out to Margate. Herne Bay and Whitstable look so pretty. Lord of the Manor, and over to quite near Monkton. Short of the wind farm, not as far as Belgium, it's even got a junction with the great big M2. If you want some tunnels, the Thanet Way has got them. And it's really handy for the asylum centre too. Washed up on shore near the A299. It used to have 3 lanes, one facing each way. The other was shared for overtaking. Some folks didn't make it. It's a sandwich. Down to Ramsgate Harbour, swing a left at Cliff's End, Westwood, Manston, St Nicholas at Wade. Would you get hip to this kindly tip and go take that Ramsgate Parkway trip? I'm spending my time on the A299. The island's all mine on the A299. Okay, wouldn't be an evening without a theatre. Got to have a bit of theatre. Got to transform a personality. Got to arriving, leaving? I don't know. Well, we're all going to be in an altered state now. I don't really have poetry here, as I don't even read poetry, as you can probably tell. But I have got a soft spot for Pam Ayres. Anybody remember Pam Ayres? Yeah. Now, I've got books about poetry. I've got, there's just something about Pam Ayres that I just channel sometimes. So I want you to, it might help if you close your eyes, because I am going to briefly become Pam Ayres. I was in a car about a year or so ago with my friend Helen, and was I driving? I think so. Anyway, she just said, "Was that a stoat?" I don't know. But then I thought, what would Pam do? So this, to finish with, thank you, Herne Bay. I'll be focused on this one. Like I said, close your eyes, and Pam will appear, and your wallet may disappear. Oh my word, I said out loud when I was driving home. Is that a stoat I saw ahead, standing in the road? I rather hope it wasn't, as I think I mowed it down. Might have been a fox, I suppose, not in that part of town. Can't be helped. I'll clean the tyres, there's not much else to do. As Mr. Stoat, or Mrs. Stoat, won't ever make the news. I expect that you are thinking now this is not one of her wittiest poems. There's no obvious gag or punchline going, and you think I'd best be going. I wasn't being sweet and rustic enough. Coming over cynical, blasé. There's more to life than my teeth, an old man, but that stuff, it doesn't well pay. So here's to all the trivia that life is mostly made of. When you don't look out for the big stuff, like justice, peace and kindness, or in my case, a stoat. Thank you very much for your indulgence. If you enjoyed that, there's medication available. There's a website, lifeinthemodernworld.com, and you can hear those and countless others. Thank you ever so much, Herne Bay. You've been really cold. Woo!